Ladies, I'm here on the channel, and I'm here to do my MLB News Trade Deadline Special. Here to go over all the trades that went down today. We have a lot to talk about. This was a fun trade deadline. One of the most fun trade deadlines I've been able to cover so far in the few years I've been doing YouTube. This one was oh boy, we got a lot to talk about from the start. Even from 9 this morning. Ooh, it was a fun one. So let's get right into it. The Toronto Blue Jays are finalizing a trade to acquire right-hander Shane Bieber from the Cleveland Guardians. Sources tell ESPN the Jays have been looking for another starter, and they get one in the former AL Cy Young winner. On the news was Jon Morosi. Yeah, thought the Cubs were. I think the Cubs might have been probably another team that were looking at Shane Bieber, but Toronto need another starter, and they go out there and get Shane Bieber. Early bomb there at 9 in the morning. So I think it's a good interesting move. You know, coming off the injury, he just threw 57 pitches the other day, and rehab started on his way back. Allowed 3 hits, struck out 7, so his debut should be coming soon. And in the deal, right-handed pitcher Carl Steven expected to go to Cleveland. The Shane Bieber deal is a one-for-one trade. He's one of the biggest pop-up prospects in 2025. While his fastball tops out in the mid-90s, he's got the sort of pitchability that Cleveland has developed with extreme success. A 2.08 ERA and 91.2 innings pitched in 2025. So we'll see, you know, maybe he could be a nice, good pickup. I think it's a good trade for both sides. The Guardians get a prospect that has a 2.08 ERA, 91 innings. The Blue Jays get a starter in Shane Bieber. Then the big one drops at 11 a.m. Big trade. San Diego Padres are acquiring closer Mason Miller and starter J.P. Sears from the A's. Sources tell ESPN. I see this, I'm like, what? I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, it was reported last night, you know, the Padres could be going after Mason Miller, and what do you know? It happens, because of course it does, because AJ Preller sells the farm every year. But, the A's are receiving shortstop Leonidas DeVries, the number 3 overall prospect in baseball, along with 3 pitchers from San Diego for Mason Miller and J.P. Sears. The reliever market was out of control, ladies and gentlemen. The A's get the number 3 overall prospect in baseball. I consider it a win for the Athletics. Do I hate that they're trading Mason Miller? Yes, but they get the number 3 overall prospect. A closer, I don't know if I would be happy if I got Mason Miller because the dude throws heat, but I would be pissed if I trade my number 3 overall prospect for a closer. Man, nobody loves dumping top prospects like AJ Preller. I mean, he makes big trades. We'll see if they can actually win something this year. So, the full trade here. Padres receive closer Mason Miller and left-handed pitcher J.P. Sears. The A's will receive Leonidas DeVries, right-handed pitcher Braden Nett, right-handed pitcher Henry Baez, and right-handed pitcher Eduardo Nunez. Man, what a haul there, man. Padres lose their number 1, number 3, number 13, number 17 prospects for a closer. Granted, under team control until 2030, but that's a lot of talent to lose for a closer. And a starter with a career 4.48 ERA. And I'm talking about J.P. Sears, the other guy they got. But that's a massive haul. DeVries is as close to a sure thing as it gets. But yeah, well, I guess the A's, you could say, they didn't come to Vegas to roll the dice. They came to run the table. But yeah, we'll see how this trade works out for the Padres. Man, their bullpen's already loaded now with Mason Miller and Jeremiah Estrada, Adrian Marone, Jason Adam. Stacked bullpen, man. The Philadelphia Phillies are finalizing a deal to acquire outfielder Harrison Bader from the Minnesota Twins, sources tell ESPN. They will send an outfield prospect and a pitching prospect, so Bader will go to Philadelphia. He's solid, all-around decent defender and can hit the ball. It's an upgrade for your outfield. Detroit Tigers are finalizing a deal to acquire closer Kyle Finnegan from the Nationals. It's one of the players you expect to get traded from the Nationals, and he's going to Detroit, so Detroit makes a bullpen upgrade. Dodgers, they acquired Brock Stewart, right-handed reliever from the Minnesota Twins, which is a great deal. They traded James Outman for him, so that was a freaking fleece. Trade for a dude with a 2 ERA, who's been with this team before, but he's not the same pitcher, man. He's better than he first was with this team. The New York Yankees are finalizing a deal to acquire closer David Bednar from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Sources tell ESPN the deal is pending medical review, but much needed move here because they needed a closer. Well, I don't know if he's going to be a closer because I guess Devin Williams is still going to be, but they needed a bullpen upgrade, and David Bednar's been really good for the Pirates this year, so I think a good there for the Yankees. The Padres are acquiring catcher Freddie Fermin from the Kansas City Royals for right-hander Ryan Burgert. So, the full trade was the Royals will receive Ryan Burgert and Stephen Kolek. Padres receive Freddie Fermin. Seems like an overpay because Ryan Burgert was honestly pretty good for him. Not gonna lie, man, he's pretty good for him. So pretty weak pickup. But I mean, he's better than what they have right now. But I don't think it's that great of a pickup, especially getting Ryan Burgert as well. To me, but I guess J.P. Sears is gonna replace him in the rotation. But Ryan Burgert was good for him, so. But in the return for the Pirates in the Bednar deal, per ESPN sources, was catcher Rafael Flores, who tore up AA, now at AAA, is a top shelf framer regarded as a big league ready catcher, very good centerpiece. Also in it was Edglin Perez, who's 19 with excellent swing decisions. Excellent swing decisions. He's hitting 200 at A-ball. I mean, yeah, his own base is 370. He's great defensively, but I don't know if I would say excellent swing decisions. He's slugging 234 and has a 609 OPS. You don't trade a multi-time All-Star for a 19-year-old pipe dream who's a, quote, big league ready catcher, quote, big league ready catcher, and the guy who's hitting like 200 in A-ball. Ben Cherington, not a great return for David Bednar, I thought here, man. I think an excellent trade for the Yankees. Pirates got fleeced. Ben Cherington's a freaking terrorist, man. New York Mets, they're finalizing a deal to acquire center fielder Cedric Mullins in a trade with the Baltimore Orioles. Sources tell ESPN a huge get in the outfield there for the New York Mets. Obviously, the Dodgers trade James Outman to the Twins as part of the trade for relief pitcher Brock Stewart. The Yankees, they're acquiring right-handed reliever Jake Bird from the Colorado Rockies for second baseman Rock Riggio and left-hander Ben Fields. The source confirms to ESPN Jack Curry and Feinstein were on the news, so they get Jake Bird. Now he started off good of the year, but then he kind of just wasn't great. But I think Matt Blake, can maybe fix him. The Minnesota Twins are trading shortstop Carlos Correa to the Houston Astros. Sources tell ESPN. Bang, bang, bang. Man, the cheaters are back together again. He left his ex, but now he's back with her. Or with him, excuse me. Carlos Correa left his ex, the Houston Astros, but now he's going back. So, the Carlos Correa Houston deal looked dead 24 hours ago. They revisited, bridged a significant financial gap in Houston. With Isaac Paredes, he's now out for the season. Welcomes home Correa, who waived his no-trade clause to approve the deal. I talked about this in more than MLB News, I think, where maybe he could waive that no-trade clause. He's told friends he would waive it to go back to Houston, and now it happens. So he'll play third base for them as well. The Houston Astros are acquiring outfielder Jesus Sanchez from the Miami Marlins. A source confirms to ESPN. So, 2 good moves there, man. You getting Carlos Correa back, who obviously isn't the same player, but maybe he could, get revitalized back in Houston. And Houston also getting Jesus Sanchez from the Marlins, which is good as well. The Rangers are acquiring left-hander Danny Columbi from the Minnesota Twins. Sources tell ESPN, dude, Twins sold everybody. And they sold everyone out of their bullpen. Pretty much. So, good addition there by the Rangers out of the bullpen. The Dodgers acquired Alex Carr from the Nationals. If you want more of my opinion, go watch my Dodgers trade deadline recap about Brock Stewart and Alex Carr. The San Diego Padres, my lord, finalized a deal to acquire first baseman Ryan O'Hearn and outfielder Ramon Laureano from the Baltimore Orioles. So that line's going to be so tough when we play them again. But they traded for these 2 guys who've been really the only bright spots I felt like for the Baltimore Orioles. Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano. These motherfuckers are on one today, dude. Their farm system's going to be completely gone. But, 2 good trades there. One good trade there to get 2 great players to fill a hole to plug Ryan O'Hearn at first base, Ramon Laureano in the outfield, both having really damn good years. Kansas City Royals are acquiring left-hander Bailey Falter from the Pittsburgh Pirates, sources tell ESPN. The Chicago Cubs are acquiring super utility man Willie Catcher from the Minnesota Twins. A source confirms to ESPN. Twins fire sale. The Texas Rangers are acquiring right-hander Merrill Kelly from the Arizona Diamondbacks, sources tell ESPN. Man, the Red Sox need a starter. Well, they didn't get Merrill Kelly or Joe Ryan, but they got one, which we'll get into. But good pickup there for the Rangers to add Merrill Kelly to their starting rotation. But Red Sox got a starter, Dustin May from the Los Angeles Dodgers. We traded Dustin May to the Boston Red Sox. They wanted Joe Ryan, expectation Joe Ryan, reality Dustin May. Fine with giving him up because we got James Tibbs, one of their top 5 prospects, I believe, and was a first-round pick. I believe 13th pick in the what was the draft? 2020 was last year? I don't know. But yeah, we got him. The Yankees are acquiring shortstop Jose Caballero from the Tampa Bay Rays. Which thing's gonna move, speed and versatility. Tampa Bay Rays are acquiring Adrian Houser from the White Sox, sources tell ESPN. Phil Maton, reliever Phil Maton, is going to the Texas Rangers from the St. Louis Cardinals, sources tell ESPN. The Yankees are getting Camilo Doval from the Giants, sources tell ESPN. So they get Camilo Doval to add to their bullpen. They add Camilo Doval, David Bednar. So, 2 great additions to their bullpen there. The Tampa Bay Rays are acquiring right-handed reliever Griffin Jax, sources tell ESPN. Dude, a pretty good pickup there because they needed a bullpen arm. I don't think they're going to contend. But the Minnesota Twins are getting Taj Bradley in the Griffin Jax deal. Remember, the Tampa sent him down to AAA while they're sending him in that deal. Charlie Morton's going to the Tigers. Kansas City Royals acquiring Mike Yastrzemski from the San Francisco Giants. The source confirms that ESPN Fine Sam was on the news. And then Buster Olney said during the trade deadline show the Minnesota Twins included $33 million in cash to help cover the remaining $104 million Carlos Correa is owed for the remainder of his contract that runs through 2028. The Brewers are acquiring right-handed pitcher Sheppy Miller from the D-backs, so the Brewers get another great bullpen arm to add to their already stacked back end. The bullpen, the Cubs DFA Ryan Presley, about time. Athletics top prospect Luis Morales. The Brewers are acquiring left-handed pitcher Jordan Montgomery from the D-backs. Isn't he out for the year? The Padres obviously did not trade Dylan Cease. Guardians did not trade Stephen Kwan. The Cubs are acquiring Tyler Rogers from the Pirates. The Blue Jays are acquiring Louis Varland from the Twins, and the return is Kendrys Rojas and Alan Roden. Toronto's also getting Ty France in the deal. The White Sox did not trade Luis Robert Jr. The Padres acquired Nestor Cortes from the Brewers. The Reds get Miguel Andujar. The Angels acquired Oswaldo Peraza from the Yankees. And I don't know what they got in return, but that trade happened. Probably nothing of note. And in the return for O'Hearn and Laureano, they got Boston Bateman, Cobb Hightower, Victor Figueroa, Tyson Neighbors, Brandon Butterworth, and Tanner Smith. The Rangers, yeah, that's all for the trading deadline. The Padres got Will Wagner, infielder from the Blue Jays. So, yeah, that's all the trades, man, that I have to talk about. So leave a like, subscribe for more. Next time out. Peace. Fun trade deadline.